what's up? It's your boy Zane Gulston. Welcome back to Ellesse Radio. I called my brother Rea Da Soul right now. You know how it is. Big moment. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's an honor to have you. A lot of podcasts are chasing after the man. So I had the honor, of securing him first. Welcome to it. Welcome to the booth. It's really personal. It's easy over here, man. And before we get to anything, I need an introduction. Tell us a bit about who you are. Rea Da Soul. Let's talk about it.
All right, cool. So Rea Da Soul is an Amapiano DJ and producer. Born and bred in Rustenburg. Moved to Joburg in 2016 when I came to UJ to do my computer science and informatics degree.
Okay.
Graduated and then started working in corporate for a year. One of the toughest years of my life.
Story to tell.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
So did the DJing happen before all of this that you just told me, the corporate life, the varsity life? This was before?
100%.
So when did you start?
I started DJing in 2014. I was in grade 11 in 2014. That's when I was introduced. There's a friend of mine from back home who's like a lot older than me, who was already in the DJ space. So he'd get booked and then he'd say, come through, come see what's happening. This is on CDJ 100s, by the way. So I'm a real DJ.
Yeah. Okay. That's a nice one to say because I want to actually ask about that. I find so many nuggets in the things you're saying. The CDJ 100. Yeah. I've never seen it live.
Yeah, it's like very small, this big.
How many DJs, if I have to ask you right now, do you know, like if you had to buy now to a gig, we had a massive something, a festival, anything of the sort, and you had to put hundreds right there in front of them. How many DJs in the current industry would be able to manage in front of that?
I think a lot would suffer, but I mean, it's not a bad thing.
Okay.
Don't get it twisted.
Technology, evolves. Yeah.
I mean, if Pioneer makes players that you don't really need to beat match by ear, then so be it. Times have changed. If you can play on 100s, great. If you can play on 2000s, perfect.
So obviously, if somebody's watching this and they want to know what 100s and 2000s are, we're talking about like the CDJ and the mixer, and this obviously talks to the mechanics of it.
Yes.
So you're telling me while you're speaking in mechanics of DJing. Mm-hmm. So if we're talking about DJing right now, I know for a fact that a lot of people relate music to DJ. Mm-hmm. So when you say you're more of a DJ than a producer, what do you mean by that?
So I've been a DJ longer than I've been a producer.
Okay.
And if I'm being honest with myself, I'm a better DJ than I am a producer.
Yeah.
So like
crazy to say, because you currently have a single that's like knocking streams.
Yeah.
You had Josiah on the feature. There's a couple of cool guys on there as well. I think it's Sfazo and Lash T.
Yeah.
And how many views are we sitting on there? How many listens are we on there?
The last time we checked, we were sitting on 4 million streams.
4 million streams.
Yeah, but that's also including YouTube.
So obviously it's all of the different media streams.
Yes, I mean, Risa doesn't count YouTube.
Okay.
Currently.
So that sounds massive though. So you're not okay to call that like part of your production accolade, since you focus on the DJing. Do you think that song had any impact on your bookings right now? Because you're one of the most booked DJs right now.
100%, it did. Because when I had just started out, or not really started out, when I was still in my corporate times, still trying to get bookings there and there, it was very difficult to get bookings. But shortly after that song happened, I was consistently booked in the biggest clubs around.
So now we need to talk about where you're being booked.
Yeah.
So obviously it ranges. If you were playing on hundreds, I'm not even sure where that might have been. Like now, I've seen you post about it, I've seen you speak about it, and I have to ask you about it. You mentioned that you're the best Amapiano DJ in the North.
Yeah, 100%.
What makes you say that?
Because I'm really the best. Not to say anything bad about anyone, but I'm really the best.
Like from somebody who never met you before, somebody who's watching this interview for the first time, what can you tell them makes you different to any other DJ? I'm a piano DJ.
Great question, because that's something that I thought about, right? So when Tick had just come out, I sat and I thought to myself, the guys that I'm working with are guys who are active producers. So these are guys that will give record labels an album, an EP a year, and that's good for them. And I thought to myself, I'm not gonna give my audience an album or an EP a year. I'm still not where I want to be with the production. So I need to find something to make me stand out. And that was the DJing for me. And then also with the DJing, the Amapiano market is very small, but it's very saturated. There's so many DJs who are really good. So I had to sit down and think about what is it that I am going to do on set that is going to make me stand out. If there's a lineup of 5 Amapiano DJs, how do I make myself the memorable one? And that's when I started sort of playing around with acapellas, going crazy with the effects.
I mean, that's new to piano. A lot of DJs play, they call it, clean mixing.
Yeah.
There's always a term that a piano DJ will use.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You obviously don't follow suite in that. I've heard your mixing. I know a lot of people are big fans of you because of the way you mix. It's very different. I mean, Black Coffee, you opened for Black Coffee recently, and he was asking who you are. Obviously, based off your mixing, it wasn't a song that he heard. He obviously could see the passion behind the dicks, the technique behind the dicks, 100%. And it's an art, it's a gift, it's a skill.
100%.
So if you have to tell me right now, is the value in terms of Amapiano bookings right now? There's a lot of women that are booked. It's opened up the industry a lot.
Lovely.
There's a lot of DJs that are, that were hosts and end up as DJs. Do you think there's actual value being put next to the DJs right now in terms of booking, in terms of figures, venues?
It's, times have changed. I think when I was starting out, I was listening to guys like Kent, who are really, really amazing DJs. And this is something that you were judged on, purely DJ.
So that's my question.
Yeah, but times have changed right now. The clubs, the venues care about an experience, but there's also an element of bringing people into the venue. So if I am Rea Da Soul, I'm a fairly good DJ, but I have millions of followers who follow me everywhere I go. That's value to the club.
That's value to the club. I get what you mean.
I can get there.
But even though they're missing their cues or the song doesn't sound right when it's being brought in, or it might even sound like they're just putting off a song and putting a new song on. What's your view on it? If it was Rea Da Soul's world of perfect, imagination and what you would believe, how would you feel that value should be placed?
I don't think my opinion on it will change. Times have changed. At the end of the day,
so just get used to it. Is that where you fall?
100%.
Just get used to it.
Just need to get used to it. But I just really hope eventually we'll get to a point where people are being judged on skill. It's unfortunate that the possibility of that happening is very little. Yeah. But I just really hope
you believe it should be based off skill.
Yeah.
Lovely to know. I mean, I'm getting to the end of the interview already, and I mean, you've given me so much already to think about. So I have to ask, what's been the biggest achievement for you as a DJ? I mean, you recently, and I can say this very clearly, that you get bookings like that. The guys that you were watching, Kent, and all of these names. You were watching those names as a youngster, seeing them 100%. Booked at so many places over a weekend. Recently, I seen you post about 12 bookings that were confirmed over one weekend.
It's gotten to a point where if we're doing less than 10 bookings, it's not a good weekend for us.
Sorry?
Yeah, if we're averaging a minimum of 10 bookings a weekend. Right now, I'm sitting on 8. I still don't think it's enough.
It's not enough?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. That's a lot of drive, that's a lot of passion behind your
100%.
work. And I know it's not only financially driven. It's a space for you to showcase your talent. It's a space for you to showcase your skills. Right. For you in the game, who's the type of artist that you believe that are pioneering for you, making a way for you, that you look up to basically?
The one person that I'm looking at very closely, who I'm drawing a lot of inspiration from, is Musa Keys. What a brilliant artist.
What makes him stand out from the rest of the guys?
Because like I said, I'm a DJ. The next person is a producer. The next person is a vocalist. The next person is a performer. Musa is all of that in one.
It's a package.
He'll give you a set, a DJ set, then get on stage, sing, then go and produce the greatest song in the country for a very long time. So that's something that I look up to, and I look at him, I'm like, dude, you are actually a talent. He's really talented. I
get you, big time. And your greatest achievement for you?
I think it has to be opening for Black Coffee. That is literally his I think first South African show after winning the Grammy.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure.
And the birdie told me that you were being asked a bit about who you are from him, and how does that make you feel? I mean, that young boy that started on the CDJ 100, did he see that they're happening?
It's moments like that I don't want to say validate, because I don't believe in like getting validation from other people, but it's moments like that reassure you that you're on the great path, you know. Like there's guys that are levels ahead of you that you look up to. There's a little bit of inspiration that you draw from, and these are guys that have conversations about you. Like, really?
That's crazy.
Great.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, if you being found in rooms that you never thought your name
100%.
would be in.
100%.
So if you have any last words towards any DJ that's trying to make it, a lot of guys are trying to get into Amapiano. A lot of guys are trying to become DJs right now. A lot of people are inspired by you.
Yeah, 100.
So what's something you would share with them to end it off?
Find what makes you stand out. Rea Da Soul will get on set and play a specific way, and no other DJ in the night will probably play the same way he does. So find what makes you a Rea Da Soul and focus on that. Just focus on that.
So clean. What a man, what an awesome legend we have right here. Rea Da Soul. Remember the name. I'm sure we all know it already, man. Big shout out to you. Thank you for joining us on Ellesse Radio. It's an honor and a privilege. Make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you get involved. We have a whole lot coming. And thank you so much for watching. Much love.